Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Procreate Pocket. As you can see here, I have it installed on my 12.9-inch iPad tablet, and initially I thought Procreate Pocket was a lightweight drawing package, but it turns out that it's actually been designed for the mobile. I think they should make that clear because there's a group of people who would probably think that Pocket, maybe I'm wrong, but Pocket stands for something lightweight. That's why you can carry it around, yeah, but they actually literally refer to being held on the mobile phone. But nevertheless, I was able to use it. It wasn't a wasted download. The cost is $4.99, and the original Procreate is $9.99, as you know from the Apple Play Store. So let's go ahead and review this app here. So I'll open it up here. And you can see this is a gallery, and I've already done some doodling of some kind just to test it out. And as you can see that it's not really filling the whole screen. It's more of a 1020 by 1980 HD aspect ratio. And you can see that the iPad is actually more squarish. It's not really that's like all the other Android tablets, which have been designed to fit that standard mode of aspect ratio. The iPad does not. So it nevertheless fits into this screen size, which is still usable from what I've tested in my initial testing. So this is the main page, and you would click on the plus here to get some of the sizes. They don't make a huge difference, so I usually go for the screen size here and work with that. And as you can see, it opens up the landscape mode, which I have, and it has all the various features, functions on the top, the brush, the smudging, the eraser, and the layers here, and the color tool, color palette here. And as you know, if you've seen my Paintology videos before, which is the app that I recommend on the Android Google platform, the color palette is always sits on the right, and most drawing apps for some reason allows you to makes you click through 2-3 clicks in order to get to accessible color, which I find a bit surprising, because when you're drawing you need to access the color tool quite often, especially when I'm sort of a seasoned artist myself. I need to access this tool quite frequently, and some of my drawings can have thousands of strokes, and when you multiply that with the number of times you have to access the color palette, then it can become tedious. So that's why Paintology, I feel, has got it down to a sort of a set of features which allows you to draw quickly and rapidly and focuses on your drawing ability. So let's go ahead and select this red color here. You also have the disk option here, as you can see, which I'm not very fond of. I've never really got used to it, and so I always keep to this classic mode of palette. So I've got the red. Let's click outside it, and let's see what kind of brush we have. So I'm clicking on the brush, and I've selected the 6B pencil. And you can see that there are other types of artistic pens here, like inking, and there's quite a lot, for a package of this kind here. And again, I'm going to have to tell people that you shouldn't be wooed by the number of brushes or the effects. Ultimately, it boils down to your ability in drawing. That's never changed. That's always been the case in painting and drawing, and the result of the works doesn't always necessarily tell you what tools they've used in order to get to a Picasso or as the Starry Night by Van Gogh. You rarely ask the tools that you look at the actual final drawing. That's really the beauty of art and beauty of drawing. So although all these tools are out here, you would hardly use any few unless you like to doodle and play with all these set of tools and you just like doodling. It's fine, but when you're seriously drawing, you'll know that other artists have done lot with just one HB pencil, one 6B pencil, and some of them are so good that they've stuck to this craft of just using one pencil tool and never really ventured into any other pencil tool, like even charcoal. Like, for example, you have charcoals here. You could use one set of charcoal and never venture into anything else, because the kind of effects you can get in one brush, one tool, one pencil is amazing. That's what artists do. They push those tool sets to a whole new level. Like, I'm going to show you a drawing that I will be doing with the 6B, and I look forward to it because it uses my Apple Pencil, which is pressure sensitive. So I'm looking forward to doing this drawing, but in this guide I just wanted to show you the whole tool set. And don't feel that, oh, you have all these tools that you're going to become an amazing artist. That's not the case. You're going to have to keep developing your drawing skills and drawing ability. And I will show you what you can do with just one brush tool and the way I have used Paintology and used the shade brush tool to create photorealistic drawings. That's just one brush tool and no opacity settings. So that clearly shows that there's plenty of room for improving your drawing with just one brush. So why do they have these tools in the first place? Well, it's because, maybe it's a selling tactic, I don't know. But I feel that you could eventually, when you become so good with the 6B compressed pencil here, if I click on it again, I'm given all these options for setting this tool up with shape, grain, dynamics, pressure, general. That's just unbelievable set of settings that I can make a change to. And perhaps when I've got the 6B compressed tool down, the pencil tool down to from the default settings that I have, I may say, I wish it did have a little bit more of a darker haze or a little bit more of jitter or fall off. I don't know. Maybe then I will probably tweak these just a little bit, not like a great amount, just a little bit, and see if it fits to my drawing style. So this is what you should be doing. Attempting to create your own drawing style. If you want to get really good at drawing, think about your drawing techniques and skills, not the tools. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we've seen this. So many textures, abstract. I like these abstract, which I can see with someone who's an abstract person would be able to use and create some pretty interesting drawings for themselves. We have spray paints. This reminds me of the shade tool in Paintology, which you can use, and perhaps I will use it to see if I can replicate a photorealistic drawing on this app, just like Paintology. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have water even. Amazing. So plenty of tools here for you to get on with, but I suggest you pick up one tool and just start drawing. And just because you can't draw, you don't think another tool's going to somehow magically bring about your drawing style. It's not. You're going to have to improve your drawing all the time. That's why we have drawing classes and drawing subjects across the world in many shapes and form. So, okay, so we have the canvas here, and on to the left here, this happens to be the actual size of the brush. So let's see what brush I picked. Oh, I picked water bleed, so I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to sketching. Pick the 6B pencil. We're done with that, okay? And then let's see what the size. See, the size doesn't change much. So it's trying to emulate the pencil that you use in the real world, which is fine, but in truthfulness, you know, I would say digital medium is completely different to the traditional medium. Just like you wouldn't try to emulate watercolor using oil painting. Why do you try and emulate the pencil on the medium, which okay, maybe to start off with, but there is so much you can do with the digital medium. You know, it's a whole different category of painting and drawing that is separate from the traditional medium, and it should be looked at such. It shouldn't be like, oh, I should be able to replicate oils and watercolor. That's not the case. You should, as an artist, find what tools and the effects these tools create and what you can do to create the artwork that is more to your liking. That's essentially it. So as you can see here, it's limited with the size, which I'm a bit disappointed. Why would you want to, you know, limit the size? Why can't you just make it as big as possible? But again, they're trying to, you know, the app developers are trying to emulate the real world, which again, I've given my, you know, thoughts on that. So here's the opacity setting. You can see clearly the opacity can be adjusted. So I'll keep it at the highest settings. And let me bring my Apple Pen, which is what I like, the Apple Pencil, and which has pressure because now the mouse doesn't have any pressure, obviously. So you can see I'll start off with a very light stroke, keep working up, and you can see that as I press down, it actually increases the size, which it should in theory, and also density. So this is great, and I'm really looking forward to creating some drawings using the Apple Pencil on this app. So another tool that I wanted to show you quickly is the smudge tool here, which is quite interesting. As soon as I saw that, I realized it had quite a lot of potential for a lot of things. And before I do that, let me show you some of the things that, you know, for example, let's say we want to draw an apple, right? So this is what I mean by, why would you want to keep the limit on this? I could have just used the selected a notch, increased the size of the brush as much as I wanted to, and fill this volume up really quickly. So that's why, you know, I don't like that developers who are not really true artists themselves actually decide how it should be used, because they've got nothing else really to use as reference, so that's what they do. So that's the apple, right? So now let's say we use the smudge tool. This works really well, and I think it only works with the pressure. So we know it's got highlights on this, so let's go ahead and so I may have done it a bit too much. I may have added the colors too dense. So in that case, I can go down. So again, you see here, that's a little bit of a fault. Why would I want to select the colors and then press out of it and have it draw here? How doesn't make sense? That should be a no. That shouldn't be an image. I need to go and undo it. And by the way, the undo is quite interesting. You have to double tap with 2 fingers to do the undo. So again, yeah, so you can use the smudge tool to some effect. Although it's not working as well as it's here. I will show you in a later drawing, which I intend to do with this app, and see what we can get with the Apple Pen. So let's see the other various tools here. We've got the eraser and the layer button as usual, the layers which I rarely use in any drawing. I don't know the purpose of layers unless you're a graphics artist or illustrator. I don't, and because you're drawing anime or cartoons, but not really genuine drawings like I'm used to, which is just basically the basics of pen and canvas. Give that to me and I will try and turn that. I'll put down a drawing. Okay, so there you have it, and I think from the looks of it, the initial app, like I said, is designed for the mobile audience rather than the iPad audience, but still usable on the this iPad 12.9 inch that I have here. So on my next review, hopefully you'll stick around and see one of my drawings. Thanks.